Hello everyone, and welcome to a brand new series here on the Corr Gaming channel. Warhammer Age of Sigmar Realms of Ruin, that is a mouthful, just released, and honestly I needed no other excuse to check out a strategy game in the Warhammer universe. So today we'll be working our way through the main campaign and learning about the story of Realms of Ruin. If the campaign isn't really your cup of tea, don't worry, we'll be looking at the multiplayer and conquest game modes in the very near future as well. But anyway, thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you guys enjoy the videos. Alright everyone, here we are in the single player. We haven't actually done anything in terms of the campaign. It says we started it, but we did not. So let's go ahead and start a new campaign. We're going to be playing at Veteran difficulty. It says that it can be changed in between chapters, so if it's too easy, we'll be going ahead and switching that up to Champion. I don't know how they've really balanced this game yet, but we'll see. Hope in the Darkness seems to be the name of the very first one. Sigrun led the Stormcast Eternals, and we cannot read the rest of it. The mortal realms have been despoiled. Ravaged by the followers of chaos, the bestial realm of Gur stands on the brink of utter destruction. Dawnbringer Crusades, led by Stormcast Eternals, march into its wildlands, bringing order to a land racked by violence. Their fortress settlements are beset by the elements, the beasts, and worse.
The orcs grow brazen. They bleed us. And know we are too depleted to respond. And now I risk what little we have left.
Trust my auguries, Sigrun. There is an artifact of power in the swamp. If we can claim it, we can cleanse the orcs and save our cannibals. Keep faith.
Success is not purchased with faith. The cost is always sacrifice.
You doubt my divination?
No. Forgive me, Demetrius. If Parcanibus survives, its legacy will be worth any sacrifice we make.
Obtaining this power may end up being the reason we were sent here in the first place.
And before we even learn of this, Sigmar calls away the Lord Celestin with over half the crusade. Well, I guess there's no point fighting if you're not hopelessly outnumbered.
Sigmar is forced to wage war across all the mortal realms. It is why he forged us, Aiden. To win impossible fights.
Yes, Sigmar.
If I fail, even fewer will stand to defend Harcanibus.
It's better to die in the attempt than be swallowed by time and dust. Stormcast, march on.
So be it.
Man, what a beautiful game. That is not something I expected to say about a strategy game, but that is very good looking.
Sigrun and the rest of the chamber aren't far behind. Hopefully the maps we made when the Dawnbringer Crusade first settled remain accurate. We should get moving.
Alright, so it looks like we're taking control of the advanced guard here. WASD to move the camera, left click, right click. So this is a very standard RTS. By default, you begin a chapter in direct move. Units performing a direct move will ignore combat and enemies while moving. An enemy can be targeted by giving a direct move when the enemy is under the movement reticle. Movement path will change color, and that unit will pursue the targeted enemy as long as it's visible. You can right-click to issue an attack order, or alternatively press F to toggle giving attack move orders, and your units will attack foes along their path. All right, very cool. So we can move here. We can chain. That's good to know.
We're ready.
I think we're just following along the path, right? Hopefully get a couple more reinforcements along the way and see what we do there.
We forge a path.
They're quite slow, though.
Gur is a savage and hostile realm. I heard Sigrun and Iden say the realm destroyed its moon. Perhaps mortals are not meant for such places.
Savage it may be, but that's its nature. Be thankful that these lands have not yet succumbed to the horrors of chaos.
Okay. Now, I do remember that I read something that essentially said that these guys are much slower in the campaign.
A patrol.
Let us eliminate them. Time for some blade work.
So they're much slower in the campaign than they are in the multiplayer rounds, which we played a couple of those, and I think it's 100% faster. So it's a pretty sizable difference. All right, and so one thing that's unique about this particular game is that in most RTS games, you can just kind of move your units in and out of combat. In this one, they are actually locked. Okay, I think we already did this, right? Yeah. Okay.
We see our prey.
See us a second time. But yeah, the units are actually entirely locked into combat until one side either loses or retreats, which we can't retreat here. I'm assuming we'll be able to retreat in the future, but in multiplayer you get the option to retreat for resources, actually. So it's not just a free thing. We're obviously fighting the orcs right now. These are some of the tier 1, I'm going to call them tank units. This game kind of works on a rock, paper, scissors style.
Crazy down here. Watch the caves.
See,
Stop it!
nice. So you can't see it right now. There you go. So these guys have a shield. These guys have a sword. This sword beats the shield beats the bow, and the bow beats the sword.
The Auric flees! We should finish him off!
Hold, Naris.
Uh-oh.
Elders, Troggoth. We should slay it.
It is a savage beast. It would likely make short work of us. Besides, we must mark the path for the main force to follow.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so we do have the Hidden Paths ability, helping them avoid the Troggoth. Alright, so Hidden Paths cost 20 of Realmstone, which is one of our resource types. We have two, Command and Realmstone. Command is sort of the regular money, and Realmstone is the special resource. That's how you upgrade your units, and some of the more powerful abilities actually cost for that. So,
Cover and shadows.
you can see we are now invisible, so the Troggoth should not be able to see us. I don't know, how long does that last? Oh, it's indefinite, it appears.
Don't let the enemy see us.
Alright, and then we have a choice of two locations to go here. Let's go up to the north here.
Eyes open. Mongrel beasts. Surely sniff us out.
Okay.
I don't know.
The Aurics call them Gnashtooths. We can easily dispatch them if we must.
Interesting. So we do have, well, we have lost at least one guy, and we're about down to 50% HP. It would be nice to get a little bit of a heal here. Maybe we could turn this into a healing location.
This ruin is on the map. Thanks, Sigmar.
Alright, structures that can be captured are surrounded by a region. Neutral and enemy regions will shrink when you move a unit near the structure. A region will grow if a friendly unit remains inside it. The larger the region, the more resources the structure will provide. And a region deadlock will occur if both you and your opponent have units inside it. The deadlock lasts until one side is driven out of the region. Anytime you capture an arcane conduit or victory point, you receive a small amount of Realmstone. If a unit is defeated, you'll receive a small amount of command, and if a unit is defeated within a region you control, that command will be increased. Ah, very interesting way to gain more resources.
Ah, the swamp has not swallowed everything.
So,
Indeed. Let us mark this way for Sigmar and the chamber. Make a good muster point to fall back to.
oh, perfect. That'll heal
Path
us
is
up.
marked, Elpis. Your orders?
We should check the other locations on the maps. It may prove fruitful.
All right, sounds good. We can absolutely do that. So then it absolutely rewards you for fighting within your territory and defending your stuff, which is cool. So we do see on the bottom left, we have the ability to do rally points as well as upgrades. In this case, it doesn't look like we have any upgrades to speak of. Eventually, we'll get up to tier 3 units, I believe.
Play for Sigmar!
Let's go ahead and fight you
We're under
guys.
attack!
And now we can retreat. So I think by default, it will go here. Maybe we could use another one at a certain point in time. I'm not quite sure about that.
Hunters ready!
Oh. The ragdoll. Oh, that poor Nashtu.
Waiting your command.
All right, let's go ahead and capture this. I think there was a smaller, like a minor objective to collect all of these.
Without
I
a clear
don't
path, our
know
army
exactly.
will lose cohesion in this wretched fen.
feel like going down here is probably a bad idea. Or maybe it's all a bad idea.
I am glad for the chance to fight. Do you think it's wise for us to be so deep in the swamp after Sigmar called away the Lord Celestin?
The celestial battle mage says there is something out there. Something powerful that could protect our capital. I'm not so sure.
Sigmar trusts Demetrius. Have faith, Elder.
I've fought under Sigmar for over a century, from here to Akshi. I trust him, but not this place. Move out.
So, a little bit of an interesting factoid for those who don't know anything about the Age of Sigmar. These Stormcast Eternals are actually reforged. So they're called Stormcast because they're cast, so to speak, if you're familiar with metalworking. But essentially, these are the souls of heroes and great soldiers throughout the course of history that Sigmar has quite literally remade as new soldiers. And if they die, they get remade again. It's quite fascinating. So this is one of the few games where playing as the humans is really, really cool. In my opinion. I know a lot of people like the humans in fantasy settings, but they're sometimes just a little boring for me.
Move on.
So anyway, we also have the ability Astral Compass, which allows us to clear Fog of War, and we'll use that to see what we have around here.
Eldris, the fellow retinue is under assault from horrors.
We cannot wait. We must help them.
Alright, it looks like a 2 versus 1, and this gives us access to our charge, which is nice. Maybe we were a little bit early and weren't supposed to use the Astral Compass, but oh well. We're using the charge now. So the charge gives us the ability to run forward very quickly. It also stuns on impact and does a fair bit of damage, so this will help. We will hopefully be able to take out these guys without losing too much, and we'll go from there. And almost done. There we go. Let's go ahead and capture this, and hopefully these guys will,
Let us mark
oh,
this
maybe help
trail
us.
and push on.
We need to delve further. Without a clear path, our army will lose cohesion in this wretched fen.
Cocky storm kids. Let's crack 'em open. Can't just gut 'em. Might be more coming. Murkfang's gonna want a nice chat.
Uh-oh.
Indeed.
That just happened.
Vanguard hunters! Fighting formation!
Uh-oh. I don't feel like that's going to go very well for us.
Sigrun, the Vanguard hunters have not reported in.
We are still finding their markers. They must have moved deeper into the swamp. We continue along their trail.
Very well. Warriors of Sigmar, forward!
All right, so you are a Lord Celestant. All right, we can group select. We can use abilities. And you are a Knight Vexilor. Okay. And then we also have Liberators. So the Liberators are our tank units. They have the ability to gain a shield and increase their own armor, which is quite nice.
This place would almost be beautiful if it weren't for how hostile it is.
And the smell.
Oh, are we not allowed to move that far?
We shall
Maybe not.
outmaneuver the enemy.
So our Lord Celestant is one of our hero classes, and they have the Banner of the Reforged.
Size of a battle.
Looks like Eldris's work.
And that ability gives you heal and reinforce within the area for about 10 seconds, so incredibly useful for prolonged high damage fights. And then they also have a charge as well.
Maybe Eldris didn't make it any further.
Oh, that's right. We probably have to fight the
Though I
Trogoth.
grant him sense enough to avoid it. Regardless, we'll deal with it now.
Now, the Lord Celestant, on the other hand, is actually a tier 3 hero, so that potentially gives us a lot of flexibility. Oops, didn't need to do that.
Swift attacks, battles.
Let's go ahead and stun this guy. We can't apparently stun him. So you can see here that I activated Sigmar's Aegis. That gives them the shield, keeps them alive a little bit longer, anything to reduce the overall damage taken, which is nice.
Every foe must be defeated.
But anyway, the Lord Celestant also has one other ability, which we'll touch on in a minute.
Here we go. That's more like it.
We're barely past the choke, and already such powerful enemies. My hand is forced. Stormdrake Guard to the front!
Ooh, that's a big boy unit. That is a tier 3 Stormcast Eternal on a dragon. Oh, what gorgeous sprites. I love it. It's not a sprite, it's a model, but either way. Alright, units like the Stormdrake Guard have powerful targeted abilities. Press E to initiate their incendiary ability. Aim the ability with the mouse, and then press E again to use it against an enemy. So you can see how there's a little bit of influence into the controller side of things. You double tap to do it, rather than just, you know, E and then click it. But I respect it. Alright. So you guys back up a little bit. We'll charge, and then you. That was probably the worst thing I could have done. Oh well. We're not really concerned about this. Furious Retribution is the other ability of our Lord Celestant, which is giving increased attack damage, increased attack speed, and then becoming unstoppable for all units within a relative area. So we did lose quite a bit of our realms. I don't know why that is, but I don't think that'll matter too much. No one's actually going to be killed here before we get done with that. And then we will be able to heal up over at our muster point. And I'm really happy that we have a Stormdrake Guard. That's great. Now this little thing over here is correct. If we were, you know, really in danger, we could have absolutely used the Banner of the Reforged ability, which would have helped.
Our alliance is ancient.
And in fact, we'll probably use that now. Why? Because we can.
We can move the main force up and secure this location while we forge ahead.
Now it is worth noting that this game is generally, it's kind of broken down into chaff units and non-chaff units. So for example, these Liberators are you know, relatively inexpensive. They're also relatively weak. Whereas the Lord Celestant, as well as the Stormdrake Guard, which is not a hero unit, you can actually have multiple of them, can be extremely deadly, but also cost a lot. And are hard to kill as well. So they're much less of the chaff units. So let's go ahead and heal up our Liberators here. And I did see that there was something over there. We'll go ahead and kill this. Looks like we have some more Gnash Tooths. And then while these guys heal up, let's take a look. Can't do anything with that. Upgrades, it's fine.
We strengthen our hold on the trail. This will help us marshal formations to where they are needed.
Oh, nice. We got some guys coming down in the background. The
We are yours.
couple of liberators and a couple of, or not a couple of, but Demetrios, which I think they said was a mage of some kind.
Liberators awaiting.
Probably good enough.
Sigmar's name, move on. Glory or death awaits.
Almost done with these guys. And it would be nice if we had a little bit of extra support here on that, but since we have 2 hero units and a Storm Drake, I think we're okay.
Our hammers are ready.
Now, where are you guys going to take us? Are you taking us through the middle? May very well be. We'll take the extra healing. However, I'll give you a little bit of time here.
Liberator reinforcements.
Oh, nice.
Our foes try to break our muster point.
So we may get both. That'd be nice. Or are they just going to be supporting its defensive state? That could be as well.
Onwards for glory.
Either way, not really a big concern here.
Sigrid, do you really think we'll find something of value in this filthy place?
We must trust Demetrius. If his divination is wrong, we don't have the numbers to win this war of attrition.
Sigmar, reinforcements will come.
They
All
have
right.
not come yet, though we pray daily. The realms are on fire, Aiden. We are just a glimmer in the grand plan.
Alright, and this is where we talk about the unit types. So, sword units assault foes with powerful charge attacks. Shield units are heavily armored and can shrug off range damage. Bow units are warriors that can attack from afar with ranged weapons. And stars are unique heroes and villains as powerful as they are varied. Generally, sword beats shield, shield beats bow, bow beats sword. And the heroes, of course, do not use the combat triangle and are special.
Assault our muster point.
So I'd be interested to know, and this is not something I'm aware of one way or another, but I'd be interested to know if the
This banner is my honor.
sword and shield, for example, do they actually get a bonus against, you know, certain things? Or do they get just generally, they're just like built that way? I'm not quite sure.
Our burden is eternity.
Right. You can go fight that. You guys will fight them.
A great battle.
These guys are both tier 1 units, so they're not going to be the strongest things that we have.
Overcome all foes.
But that's still not going to be bad. This is going to be tricky.
Push on for the glory of Sigmar.
It might be worth taking a little bit of hits. It's fine. You guys will regenerate. Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one. We like that.
Bring us glory.
And then, can we pop Furious Retribution? Yes, that'll give everyone a lot of damage. And Unstoppable. See how they melt. Nice and quickly. Although it looks like no sign of our scouts from earlier. Probably up at the enemy camp there where we'll find them.
Sigrid, here. More signs of battle. I recognize those Sigmarite footprints, and there are Auric tracks. They lead in that direction.
Eldris and his retinue should not have ventured further without regrouping with us.
Lord Sigrun, let me fly ahead. I will find them.
Very well. Search, but do not engage. And have a care, Mazrin. I do not want to lose my only Stormdrake guard.
We shall be safe from harm whilst on the wing.
Alright, so introduction to flying here. Flying will generally allow units to overcome certain obstacles. Nice explosion. But they are still vulnerable to ranged attacks.
We should continue the search ourselves. We may find more evidence of their fate.
We are Sigmar's
Nice, get
storm.
another set of
Moving to
liberators
position.
here. Yep. I don't
see
think it's
enemies.
going to be necessary.
Our hammers doom them.
See, charge, and a charge,
Kill.
Defeat is unacceptable.
and we'll just beat you guys down. Might be worth actually popping a banner of the Reforged right now. Heal up our guys before what is potentially a big engagement, I'm not sure. The effects in this game. Goodness, it's just quite a beautiful game. Like, look at this.
We are the hammer.
These guys are just immaculately detailed. That's amazing. All right, sorry. Stop gawking at it. And how about I actually do the game?
Death to the enemies of Sigmar.
So these last for 30 seconds. Probably no reason to use them now. Anything else over here? No, they're just patrolling. Just verifying there's nothing else we can do. Can't upgrade those. Alright. No big deal. And then these gut rippers are quite weak.
Battles are won by fighting. Move on. Liberators awaiting orders.
Let's get a charge off onto you. Do a little bit of early damage.
Protect the standard. The banner of apotheosis stands fast. Sigmar guides my warblade.
Just try and make it as quick as possible, taking as few casualties as possible.
Victory is built on death.
And you'll also notice, I did touch on this a little bit earlier, but the retreat actually costs the blue command resource. So if you are a little bit low, you'll have to pay attention to that. Otherwise, you may just end up losing your units, and that is never a good thing. Especially when it's not a game like StarCraft, and you only have 6 units in total if you look at the population cap, which is quite important to pay attention to. It kind of tells you how you want to work through the game.
Sigrid, look there. An Auric war camp.
Eldris and his retinue may be held there. We should raise it and search for signs of them.
Alrighty, let's go ahead and take one from the top, one from the bottom. We'll take Sigrid from the top. Oh, nope, not Sigrid. Ooh, ouch.
This banner is my honor.
Strike them all down!
Where's our Storm Drake? Oh, darn, I missed.
Time for a fight.
Alright, now would definitely be a good time for Banner of the Reforged.
Sigmar, bless your warriors.
That'll heal us up, keep us
Corr is here.
topped up. It also does a reinforcement for all of your units as well, which is really nice. Oh, it looks like it explodes at the end of it. That's kind of cool. I think that was what caused that.
I can see the enemy.
One more hit here should do it, and there we go. The blotting hit.
We've searched the camp. They were certainly here, but the Oryx have clearly moved them. I found Sigmarite footprints leading further into the swamp.
We must catch up with them. Vanguard hunters are the best chance we have of finding a way to the arcane power Demetrios seeks.
With luck, Mazarin has already spotted them. But until we meet up, we have no eyes above us.
Agreed. Call a squad of prosecutors to the front. We have precious few to spare. But without Vanguard hunters, we're blind to ambush. Move out!
Alright, prosecutors. Those are very cool as well. Those are the angels sort of things you see up to the top right. Alright, and it looks like a win on Mission 1. Surprise, surprise. Alright, guys. Well, that was the very first episode of, I'm not even going to pronounce it, Realms of Ruin. It was a great, a great long name. I think, what, six things in total? That's ridiculous. Feel like we're watching one of those animes that has 35 different titles. So anyway, thank you guys for joining us. You can see here that we did get the level up. This levels up your account and you get different rewards as a result, which is kind of cool. But in the next episode, we're going to be going ahead, English, and pushing on with the second mission. In between that and this time, I'm hoping to get some multiplayer matches up. We may be joined by Atomic1105, who's a close friend of mine. He also picked up the game, and we've been kind of messing around with the multiplayer aspect of that. And the other side of things, we may be doing a conquest here or there, but in either case, thank you guys for joining us today. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and look forward to the next one. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.